I am demonstrating here the Chicago Homicide Investigation Toolkit, basically a simple little visualization program that I wrote in about 2 or 3 weeks that helps show the correlation between location and homicide events. Basically, the way it works is you specify the start and end date. Runs data from about 1965 to about 1995. And the data comes from an archive of police data provided by the University of Michigan. So I'm just going to set here the start date at about February 1968 and the end date, same month in 1972. So specify that. And then this checkbox is just a list of options, what types of homicides and events you'd like to see, and the types of data you'd like associated with them. So for example, we have homicide type, victim age, the offender's gender, race, for the second offender, the first offender, etc. The easiest way to run the program is to just rely heavily on this Go button up here and up here. If you click Go, it's going to generate a list. It takes a little bit the first time you run it, and it helps if I actually click on Go. So these little dots represent homicides between 1968 and 1972. If those aren't pronounced enough for you, aren't emphasized enough, all you have to do is go to the event intensity. This little slider right here, if we turn that up a little bit and then execute Go again, they should be a bit brighter for us. Takes a second. There we go. Now they're a bit brighter. You can zoom in to see sort of general geographic patterns, and this is over time and space. So if you wanted to perhaps understand a specific pattern, there's an animate button that I'll talk about later so that you can cluster, say, by month, year, or simply by event order, which is no cluster. So perhaps you want to know something specific about a particular event, so you can just keep zooming in. Or you want to know about the relationship between that event and some kind of topographical information, like where the closest L stop is or what roads are located there. And you're able to do that as well. There's a layer of standard information, so perhaps you would like to see census data from 1960 to 1970, 1970, 1980. This is stuff provided by the U.S. national government. Or perhaps you'd like to see more information about neighborhoods. So here I've got some stuff about basics about like street names, ward names, and central business districts, etc. And we can show all of those. As well, you can see the parks. So right now the parks are being shown. We could turn that off. Re-render the image and turn off any of the parks. I can also turn off, so there's also forest preserves. We'll turn off those just by unclicking show. It's going to re-render. There goes our park and our forest, and then we could turn off water if we wanted to, or change its color. Perhaps we want to emphasize water, and we're going to make water a brighter blue. So click OK, and then it'll re-render, emphasizing those in a brighter blue. More interestingly, perhaps you want to know about these two events that we see here, so this one and this one. We could turn on the event numbers because all the events are listed here, and you can find the details. So for event number 1527, we can find out that it's not exactly clear how the person was murdered, but it was clear that it was a knife or sharp instrument. It happened in the North Lawndale area, at least that's where the body was found. And then victims aged 20 to 24, it looks like they were African American, and we also have some other information about exactly where it happened, and then the offender's sex and race, all the stuff that the police have been recording during this time. So if we wanted to turn on event numbers for the map, we could. And then we just click Go again. And then we can correlate this particular event with its specific data. So let's look at event number 1533, which is right here. And it looks like it was a spousal attack in the home, and the relationship was a spouse with a shotgun. So people are interested in doing academic research on these types of events, might be interested in using this tool. All those basics are here. It's fairly simple. Again, I only wrote it in 2 or 3 weeks, so it should be useful, but it's not completely solid. And this was probably about 3 or 4 years ago that I wrote this tool. but a couple people have asked me to explain how it works and how you get information on it, so that's what I'm doing. I'm just going to zoom in here so you can see the street names in case you're wondering exactly where these had occurred. You can also change the font size and stuff, so right now it's going to be a bit tight. And then just to sort of show off the tool real quickly, I'm going to indicate race by color. We'll take Caucasian and we'll assign orange. Click OK. And then we're going to show a little of the population statistics as well. You click View. And in a second it'll run, and we need to go again. Go is generally like your refresh the map button. And so now we can see this was event number 1533 is orange now, Caucasian victim. And then number 226 looks like it's red, so it's probably, I think I'd set it to this. We'll just effect, make that change again. You'll also see that there's a change in color, so lighter colors indicate the density of the population, so it is less dense here than it is as you go towards the east. So that's basically it. The only other thing that might be of use to people is to see some kind of visualization data on the animation, and I can do that in a separate video. Thanks.